Welcome to the Gig Show. I'm Jim Dorman, and this is Dan Cody. We're looking forward to another exciting edition of the show. But first of all, good to see you, Dan, after fresh off an exciting night for the SPX band at the Cottage Bar.
Yes, another crazy great night of fun and festive night with a lot of Christmas tunes thrown in. So
yeah, it was great to see the band. I know I've said it before. Sometimes you guys do show. It doesn't matter whether there's 5 people or the place is packed or whatever. You guys are always jamming and having fun.
We go with whatever works, and big crowd, small, or small band, big band. We just have fun and have a great time.
But I couldn't make it till late last night, and I didn't know that you guys even be still playing when I get there. When I get in there. There's the whole band. How many pieces you had going? I don't know. 8, 9, 10.
Yeah,
I saw
8.
an extra guitar player in there.
Yeah, between
2
8
bass players going on, keyboards, 2 backup singers. And anyway, the place was packed. There was all kinds of people going on. I guess we had some Weymouth reunions and things like that going on. So I was just really happy to kind of see the place rocking. And quite frankly, I was a little bit tired after working my 8-hour shift and talking to a few people and stuff. And I said, I got to sit down. I'm glad I did, because then I got to really watch you guys kind of playing and going back and forth, and I was just impressed with I don't know, some of the songs you guys usually do, but like Tequila, Ring of Fire, Sweet Home Alabama. Which Tom Petty was?
Let's see, we did American Girl.
I think it was American
actually
Girl.
Threw in the Waiting,
Waiting,
impromptu. Right. Everybody was singing along. That was great.
But so, I think Tequila is a good example of kind of some of the interplay, because that's kind of everybody thinks of, and I was even kind of doing a little bit of the Pee Wee Herman dance, and kind of just being kind of a fun song. But when you guys get into the groove, it's more like just a real cool back and forth between interplay between the different instruments.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of it is we don't really rehearse.
Yes.
So it just opens up the door for improv and see where things go and what you're feeling, and you just don't know where it's going to go or where it's going to end, but you just go with it, and we have fun. That's we want to have fun. We want the crowd to have fun. That's the first rule. If there is a rule, it's fun.
I'm glad you mentioned about that. I was going to ask, you guys really don't get to rehearse very often.
Okay.
No, but I think everybody's brings something to the table, so you're all adding little bits.
Absolutely, everybody brings it to the table, and we had John Doucette, good friend of ours, get up on guitar, and we had sorry, I forget missing his name, but he played accordion.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we had an accordion player earlier.
I missed the accordion. Darn.
And that's us. It's like if you got an accordion, come on up.
And you guys are always doing something for a good cause or whatever. So anyway, the SPX band out of Weymouth, Massachusetts, although you guys probably are, as we know, coming from all over. It's a great state of Rhode Island. And for you personally, you got a new song out, new video, and let's see. Wrapped in My Arms.
Yeah, Wrapped in My Arms.
Kind of a real, emotional, good poignant song. I think a lot of people can relate to. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, it's definitely it's a ballad, and it's a song about loss. And a lot of people certainly can identify with loss in terms of family members, friends, and even pets. It's loss in general, but it's reached a lot of people, and a lot of people love the lyrics and the melody, the whole song. But it's a very poignant, strong song about losing someone. And the video came out fantastic, directed by Tom Hamilton, our buddy,
good friend Tom Hamilton.
The beauty of that was I had sent him the song and said, what do you envision? I had a basic idea of playing the song, on a stage, but I didn't have much more than that. But he had all these visions that you kind of see in the video. So that's a great thing with collaborating. Somebody else has a vision that they see. Right. So he directed it. I followed his lead and came out great.
That must have been good process for you guys to work on that.
Yeah.
Where can people see it if they want to see it?
They can see it on YouTube.
Yeah.
They can see it on my website, dancodymusic.com.
Yeah. Cool.
And they can stream the song anywhere they stream music.
All right. Well, I think right now, just maybe you guys give people a chance to take a quick look at a few seconds of it. It might be a good time to pause for that, right?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Now.
3, 4. Where did you go? I'm searching high and low. I need you back here. I don't want you to leave. Wrapped in my arms, I wish you were here tonight. Wrapped in my arms, I wish I could hold you tight. That I could hold you tight.
Okay. Hey, that was obviously. I hope everybody enjoyed just a few seconds of the video that you worked hard on, and so cool. But we got to get on to today's show and our guests that we're so happy to have. Two teachers here from the. If you don't know, we're at the Abington High School, Abington Middle School building. That's where the Abington Cam is channel is. That's where we do our work here. But a lot of the teachers, we got some teachers here that not only teach, but they're involved in music. And two of the premier ones are a guest we had on actually almost 2 years ago. It's coming up on is Mark Regalbuto. He's a teacher, teaches English language arts at the high school.
Yep.
And Nick DiPrizio teaches U.S. history at the high school as well. So let me give you a quick bio on our good friends here. Nick DiPrizio and Mark Regalbuto. They've been teaching in the Abington Public Schools for a number of years. And as I said, currently Mr. DiPrizio teaches U.S. history at the high school, and Mr. Regalbuto teaches English at the high school. But they both previously spent time teaching the same subjects at the Abington Middle School, and before that, the Frolio, which was the Frolio Middle School, before we have a nice new building here. And although they don't teach music, they've always found ways to make music a big part of what they do, both inside and outside of school. They both usually have an instrument or two available to play when the time is right in their classrooms. And as I said, I'm sure you'll remember Mark's appearance on our early gig show from March, I guess, of 2022, one of our most popular shows with Tom Hamilton. It's kind of neck and neck. We kind of lost a few views on Mark's show. I think he might have, as we got into it with him about the Flyers and all.
Right.
Say, go back and watch that show. You got to go. You got to watch that show. We had a blast. And Mark did two of his original songs. Anyway, but together they've played together and separately in bands at many open mic nights here at school. But now they're joining forces for us today as a duo. And we're going to start off, before we have them out there, they're going to perform Jimi Hendrix's The Wind Cries Mary. We'll be back after their performance.
After all the jacks are in their boxes, and the clowns, they've all gone to bed, you can hear happiness staggering on down the street. Footprints dressed in red, and the wind whispers Mary. A broom is drearily sweeping up the broken pieces of yesterday's life, and somewhere a queen, she's weeping, and somewhere A king has no wife, and the wind cries Mary. The traffic lights, they turn on blue tomorrow and shine the emptiness down on my bed. The tiny island sags downstream, 'cause the life that lived is always dead. And the wind screams Mary. Now will the wind ever remember the names it has blown in the past? And with this crust, its old age and its wisdom, it whispers knows this will be the last. And the wind cries Mary.
All right, welcome back. Hey, we got our guests, Mark Regalbuto and Nick DiPrizio. Welcome to the Gig Show.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. That performance of Jimi Hendrix's "The Wind Cries Mary" was fantastic.
Excellent.
Thank you.
You guys both Hendrix fans? You gotta,
Yeah, hard not to be.
hard not to be is right.
Love Hendrix.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember, back kind of growing up with it, I thought it was a little too harsh or something like that, and and then I realized how melodic his writing was, and and some both lyrically and the guitar playing.
Yeah.
So
We were kind of talking about that the other day, actually,
Yeah.
how it's like symphonic almost with like there's so many subtle things that he does
Right.
that it's hard to recreate like at all. But like it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I call it active listening when you really try to, like with headphones, and really study what you're hearing.
Yeah.
I mean, you've heard the songs a million times.
Right.
When you really focus and listen to what they're doing and what he's doing, that's why those songs play all the time, and you never get tired of hearing them.
Especially when you hear like live versions, it's like, 'cause, like when you hear like, I don't know, you get used to hearing a recording, and you almost like, I don't know, there's parts that you almost tune out, or it's like there's multi-layered guitar tracks. When you see some live versions of some of the same songs, and it's just him and the guitar, and it's like, you realize how much he's doing without any of that extra production or whatever. That's when it's like really impressive, I think.
Yeah. If you can do that and do what he did recorded, it's impressive.
Yeah.
This morning, was when I was getting ready, All Along the Watchtower came up, and that just, what a great example of what he did with that song. I think Bob Dylan even said it was probably the best version of it. Although I like Dave Mason too, but did you have a jam on that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Many times.
Many times.
Mark, you probably
Yep.
at some point in your
You're definitely going to get to All Along the Watchtower.
Yeah, it's just
no doubt.
It's a one of the songs in the progression of songs you play growing up, and
Like House of the Rising Sun.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Right.
Well, I still haven't done it.
And that's a Dylan song too, isn't it? Wasn't that a Dylan
no,
song?
it's an old folk song.
Okay.
That thing goes way back, but many
People have done it.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Well, this is what I like having you guys on here. I guess we could just talk about like Jimi Hendrix and whatever little offshoots of things like that. I think for a while, but I've known you guys for a while. I think Mark, we go back a little farther, but I know that you guys have played together. Tell us a little bit. Tell the listeners and watchers out there a little bit about maybe some of your history together, playing together.
Nick came to the Frollo as a sub.
Yeah.
Okay.
right?
Right.
And then we found out he played guitar, and he came to open mic, and he played guitar, and we're like, oh yeah, you're playing with us now.
Yeah,
right?
You already kind of had it established, with Mr. Campbell and Mr. Dorado and Mr. Blanchett.
Yeah.
There are already a number of guys that played, and they had been playing together, and weaseled my way in there.
We're just like, yeah, you're playing with us. That's it. You're in the band now. And we started doing open mic nights, with Mike Dorado
Right.
and Charlie and Matt Campbell, right? Nick, me. We did all that. It was cool.
Yeah.
So that's how it basically started.
Right.
We just kept doing the open mics. He went up to the high school, right? But they were still doing things or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't do too much for a little bit. And then just recently we were talking because Jay was playing bass now. And we've never had a bass player.
Yeah.
Like all this time, we've never had a bass player. Like
That was that question. Okay. Never, yeah.
No.
Yeah, when we were at the middle school, it was just 3 guitars. We
That's
tried
it.
it. We tried it. Someone would play bass notes or whatever, but yeah, it's not that we needed any more excuses to play, but that was a good one that we had to take advantage of.
I think one of the transition there is we might have talked about it when we had you on last time, but it was we had a nice open mic that was building it following, which was kind of poetry first, and then and we introduced music at the high school.
A very open mic.
A very open mic, which was great. A lot of kids would come and maybe sing a song or read their poem or whatever, and it was kind of encouraging and empathic and all the good things. There were tears shed and things.
Yeah.
And then you had a little journey via Duxbury back to the
Had a 2-year hiatus in Duxbury and then come back.
It only made you stronger. And you said going to start an open mic with you. Now you are at the middle school level. All of a sudden, instead of being like, let's go into the music room and with all the lights on and everything, and just kind of the people would snap instead of clapping. They had like a spotlight. They had the speakers and the drums and the this and the that and everything. And so people could still get up and do different things, but it was very rock and roll.
We had light shows.
Wow.
Stage, we did everything. in
Right.
there.
So I remember one time. I mean, they even had what's it? Aaron. Aaron had the bow.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Playing some Led Zeppelin.
Completely forgot about that.
Aaron.
Christian.
Aaron Christian,
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah.
Anyway, so and then is that about the time that you started?
Yeah, so that was because that was still at the Frollo.
Right.
Aaron was probably 7th or 8th grader, and so it was basically when I first started working there, which was 2015, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a couple open mic nights there. And then we did a couple when we moved into the new building.
Yeah.
We had there was very, very stark contrast between the Frollo gym to the new auditorium here in terms of
right.
sound
Another big transition.
yes,
there.
yes. And so that was really cool to be able to do that a couple times. And I think there was kind of a pause during the pandemic where we couldn't really do that. And then the last couple of years, the class of the current junior class has been doing it as a fundraiser, so they've kind of set it up and done it, and so and that's been in the cafeteria, which is a little more casual, I think, and the stage is great, but it is you're in the spotlight and it feels like kind of formal, whereas doing in the cafeteria, it's a little more casual. Kids can get up and move around, so I don't know. I think that's a pretty fun atmosphere to do that.
Yeah, but I think people have seen just pictures of the setup that we had the last couple of years.
Yeah.
They kind of think, wow, that's like a big stage, it looks like a with it kind of looks like for real, wow, did you really get up there?
Yeah.
Sue did a great job setting
Yeah.
Right. So
and it's I don't know, it's surprising too, just some of the kids that come out, people that maybe in class but don't even know that they play an instrument or sing or whatever. So it's a really cool opportunity just to see kids in that different environment that they wouldn't necessarily express in class. So it's we get to see kind of a different side of them as well.
You hear how awesome they are too, right?
Yeah.
They blow you away. You're like, wow, that was great. I never knew you could do that.
Yeah.
But I think you guys, by getting up there and doing it, I think, and having both of them have setups in their rooms. If you go in, Mark's got his guitar on the stand next to his desk. Nick's got kind of the same, and he's got a keyboard in there too.
Sweet.
And I don't know how that always manifests itself throughout the day, but it's there and they see it and the kids see them. And I know for me, it was inspirational way back when, because I was seeing the kids and you guys getting up and failing sometimes. Not you guys necessarily, but sometimes people would have trouble, maybe, whatever. And I said, if they can put themselves in the line, I can kind of, get up there and do it too, So, and I think that's going to, I don't know. I think everybody's seen other people. No one wants to get up there and fail or whatever, but you won't know unless you try, right?
Right, absolutely.
Or whatever, and you can shake it off and do it again or whatever. And I just think it's a great learning experience for everybody involved.
I think it's great to have that. I mean, it encourage the idea of personal expression through music.
Right.
And, you talk to anybody who's really into music, like, I think a lot of people I know, and even me, I think there's a lot of ways you can say, wow, if it weren't for music in my life, I might not be all right.
Yeah.
I might not have gone through a lot of things in life or whatnot. And I think that's even more pertinent for young folks who are kind of going through a lot of things and a lot of changes, and there's that the music that sort of reflects that cathartic element of it emotionally.
Absolutely. I think that's the point we all think about, but you're kind of making me think back to, when I was first, listening to music, and for me it was the Beatles, and they actually were still together.
Right. Wow. Right.
Recent number one.
Yeah. So that continues, which I think that's been a great thing to have throughout your life. Honestly, this long, to think that you've had something that cool, which. Since we got, we've had Mark on, I'm kind of interested in Nick's little journey. So, like, how did your musical journey? When did you first start really getting into music, and how'd that happen?
Well, I started playing guitar when I was in 6th grade, maybe. My dad was, grew up on classic rock, and my dad was like, just throw fun trivia facts and would like quiz me in the car about who sang this song and who sang what. So he was kind of like the person who turned me on to different types of music, and especially older stuff. I started playing guitar in middle school, and it was, a lot of Zeppelin and a lot more Zeppelin, and that was kind of that was kind of the basis for just like learning to play electric guitar with some of those like classic rock staples. I started doing more acoustic stuff when I was in high school. I had a friend who I played with regularly, and we had at our school open mic nights and stuff through like the music program that we were able to do kind of a duo sort of thing. And then I actually didn't play electric guitar for a long time until I started playing with these guys. I didn't even have an electric guitar for 5 or 6 years because I did so much acoustic stuff. And then once we started playing more, I said, well, now that I got a full-time job and some guys to play with, I might as well splurge on a Telecaster. So started playing electric again and got back into that. And so now it's kind of back and forth, and depending on who we're playing with, and whether it's kind of nice to be able to switch it up between the acoustic when we you and I do stuff, or playing with the full band to plug it in and turn it up really loud in the band room. So try to mix in a little bit of everything.
Wow.
How many songs do you guys say acoustic? How many do you know, or do you have a set that you do, or how many?
I don't know that we'd have like. There's a lot that we both kind of know, or that we've done in the past, or I don't know. But it's so like "Wind Cries Mary" for example is something we were doing with the full band, with Mr. Cutter and Mr. Scott and Mr. Blanchett, and we kind of like changed it a little bit to make an acoustic version. So I don't know. I mean, we've done so many throughout the years that we could pull into. I don't know that we could put a number on it. But there's definitely kind of a solid rotation, or at least a handful of staples that we could kind of pull into anytime.
Wow.
It's a good variety too.
Yeah. That's always. I mean, I have good proximity to the practice sessions and things. So I kind of
between 2 and 3 p.m.
That's right.
So, which is very cool. You guys last year, unfortunately, now this is we never know when illness is going to hit you, and as I've known recently, and last year you guys were going to do the open mic together, and Mark, you weren't.
I was sick.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
Right.
I got sick like 2 days before.
Right.
And for some reason, I couldn't hit anything above my low register. Just wasn't coming out for like 2 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Yeah.
But worked through it and everything, but I was way too sick to come.
Were you guys going to play as a duo?
Yeah, we had we had a couple songs that
we were going to do Signs.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
And
I was trying to think Signs.
Starman.
Yeah, David Bowie. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, good ones.
So we'd worked through them for been practicing for a few weeks, and then just the timing was just incredibly unfortunate.
I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
Not today. No, not now.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll keep those on the back burner for future.
They're good ones to do. Yeah, they're good ones.
So we've mentioned quite a bit, but what's the name of the teacher band?
Well,
is there a name?
We're still,
you can't use the old name?
The previous iteration at the middle school was Staph Infection.
Right.
But we haven't concocted anything as clever yet. So it's in the works.
This is kind of a new.
Yeah, we've been doing it for just a few
3
times.
weeks?
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, I mean the goal is for us to play at the open mic night here later in the spring.
Yeah.
And we'll have to come up with some kind of working title by then, and then
Absolutely.
hopefully
And
even
book a gig
afterwards.
out, somewhere.
There's other places that do open mic nights in the area, and so hopefully the idea is for all of us to have kind of some incentive to keep getting better and to keep learning new stuff, and hopefully find some other places to perform as well.
What songs have you worked up so far?
We have a handful that we've kind of got down, and some that are still in progress.
In the works, yeah, still in the works.
Wind Cries Mary and Hard to Handle are two that we've been working on a lot. We're building up to a few different ones. Mr. Brightside is one that we want to get to. I need to learn that guitar part a little bit better. That'll take a little bit of time. What else was on the list?
Reptilia.
Yeah.
The Middle.
Desire.
Yep. The U2 song.
Yeah.
So we got a list of kind of to get there. Ideally we'd like to have 7 or 8 songs that we can kind of put a mini set list together, and if we do go elsewhere, kind of rip through them and feel comfortable. So
good variety.
Yeah.
That's great.
Absolutely.
Keep it.
Tell us again who the other participants are, because I know
Mr. Cutter plays guitar and sings.
Matt Cutter, okay.
Mr. Scott plays the bass,
Yep.
and Mr. Blanchett is drums and entertainment.
And entertainment. Charlie Blanchett is
holding it all together.
He's a great man.
Yeah.
I always say every time I see you guys play, I said, Charlie's good tonight, isn't he? If you get that reference, then
Right.
Yeah.
From the Rolling Stones,
Mick.
get your yayas out.
Some people will get that.
Yeah, I used to always say Charlie's hot tonight, and then I always thought he said that in my head. You never know, you can be wrong, but it's Charlie's good tonight.
Right. Oh yeah.
Isn't he?
Innie.
And he always makes like some kind of respectful comment about Charlie Watts, because he has a lot of respect for the Rolling Stones and Charlie Watts. But Charlie Blanchett's been here for years and is a teacher and leading the marching band for many years. So and he looks so young. Like, what's up? How does he keep that hair
right?
and stuff?
And his energy's always
His energy
can't
there,
match it.
same.
And the gig show is the gig show. Kind of because I was talking to him about it, and he said, like, I was asking him if he's playing. He's usually playing. Their band is playing he's in Brockton on the weekend, classic rock band. He's like, he just says one gig at a time, gig at a time. And I was like, so that could be the name of the show, but I think somebody else was using that, so it became the gig show. So
that's all we can do, right?
Yep,
one
absolutely.
at a time.
One
he's
gig
your
at a
drummer.
time.
That's a good start. And,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's got like tons of experience playing out and playing all sorts of different tunes. So it's like you just tell him what you're doing, and he can jump right into something. And even if he doesn't know the song that well, he'll make it sound like he does.
Yeah, it's got to be a way we can get the whole band on and maybe play a few songs or something, like some kind of thing or something.
That would be awesome.
Mark, are you singing?
I'm singing. Yeah.
All right.
And sometimes when Matt sings, I'll play guitar.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad you said it, because actually, how do you and Matt work out the guitar parts? How does that? Do you both play leads?
Depends on the song. Like if it's one he's singing, he probably wouldn't play. Like we did. We've been working on The Middle by Jimmy Eat World, which we did at the last open mic night as well with some of the students. And he sings on that one, so I kind of did the lead part there. There's a couple other ones where it's kind of back and forth. So it kind of depends on the tune and who's singing and stuff like that. I'd say more often than not, he defers to me on the leads. But he can hold. He's got some chops too, and he plays some lead as well. So kind of depends on.
He's got a cool guitar too, right?
He's got a cool guitar. Yeah.
I mean, not that you don't. He does.
Yeah. His is a little more non-traditional though, and definitely a different sound than, like the Telly or Strat.
What's he playing?
He's got a Rickenbacker, and he's also got. I usually I don't have like a huge pedal setup, which I probably should invest in. I have a lot of preset stuff on my amp, and just kind of through the amp that I do. He's always got all sorts of pedals and different stuff that way too. Yeah. So he gets some different sounds than I'm able to.
Very cool.
Yeah, he adds a little more of the more punkish.
Yeah, definitely high. Like his vocal range is a little bit higher, and definitely that's his influence is more like pop punk sort of stuff, and so I don't know. Everyone's kind of different tastes and experience gives us a nice diversity, I think, which is cool.
One of the coolest thing you mentioned, some of the students that have joined you, and I think that's such a great aspect of this whole thing is that if they can join in with you, see you doing it is one thing. I think that's inspiring. But can you tell us anything about some people that have been able to kind of we're excited by it? I don't know how that all occurs. I mean, what was the young lady that played with you guys last?
So we had Kira Howley last year. She's someone was so talented and would do stuff like she did solo performances as well. Yes. But then we had Ike on the drums as well, and it's like I don't know. I think there was a little bit of the numbers went down in terms of people that were comfortable performing during the pandemic, just because we didn't have those opportunities. And so it kind of ended up just because there were less people, we had people kind of double up and kind of, they both did other performances last year's open mic night, but then wanted to join us as well. And that was just something where, it was especially Ike had his drums in the band room, and it was kind of well, he's here anyway, we're here anyway, might as well go make some noise and just kind of see what we can do. And having someone like Kira with, a different, obviously, skill set and vocal range as well, was really cool. But I don't know if there's been a ton of collabs.
What was the guitar play with Josh Whitman, right?
Oh, yeah.
A couple of years ago?
Yeah.
So, I don't know, that's good. Do you think, do you see, you have any hope for rock and roll and in our youth? Or is it dying?
I don't know about rock and roll. I mean, there's still certainly kids that are musical and, looking for avenues to express that. Yeah, I mean, it is obviously very different in terms of the type of music that's produced, and popular music is generally not rock music. But I think there's still I don't know, especially in terms of performance, traditional guitar music is I don't know that anything competes with that in terms of especially stuff that's more electronic, and I think there's a lot of things that gets played now that sounds great, but it might be hard to reproduce in a live setting, without guitars and bass or even horns and piano and whatever else you want to bring in. So I don't know.
Yeah, not sure. I know a few years ago we had a rock band class. There was a decent amount of kids involved in that. Anyway, I don't know when Mr. Shannon was here, but I don't think they probably did it one year. But this seemed like a decent amount of kids, and they were kind of into it.
There are definitely several guitar players out there.
Yeah.
Right. So I was pleasantly surprised last year at the open mic when Ike came up to me, said, Mr. Dorman, do you want a drummer? I was doing Ghost Riders in the Sky.
Nice.
And at first I was like, I don't. And I said, wait a second, yeah. And it wasn't that good. I think I learned something that had nothing to do with him when I performed the song. I think tried to oversing or something like that. It was okay, but whatever. But it was kind of cool that he could I played him the song, and he was able to just figure out what to do really quickly, and it was so cool. It made it a little more fun and a little more of a cool presentation.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, electronic music. I mean, you can do stuff at the touch of a button, and it can be cool, it can be fun. But there's nothing to me that when you get people together, people for the first time playing with somebody else, and bouncing night.
Right. And
sound
like you
off
were
each
saying
other.
earlier in the show, like when you guys have that chemistry when it's live, and it's just like it's a different kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, we got an accordion player all of a sudden. Great.
Yeah.
You know, let's see where this goes.
Yeah.
And somebody else comes up and plays guitar. Let's see. You know, you just roll with it.
Yeah.
And see what happens.
Yeah.
It's the best.
There's a vibe that comes out of it.
Yeah.
You know, when you have people playing instruments together
Yeah.
and they gel
Yeah.
into that, it becomes this gestalt of, you know, something bigger, something more vibey, right?
Right.
Something that people can feel and relate to. I think that's the kind of thing that encourages people to pick up a guitar, you know, or to start singing or to start writing tunes or something.
Yeah, because if you screw up or it's not that great, it doesn't matter. It's just you did it.
And that's
Yeah.
rock and roll. That's-
Right. When people see that, they go, "Oh, I'd like to do that. Let me try." You know, it's like great.
Yeah. Well, whatever you guys can do, keep it up. I'm sure if they see you guys playing, they're gonna want to figure out how do you do that. You know,
Yeah.
can I get in on that? You know, I hope.
Well, we're gonna keep playing until they tell us that
The youth are in your
we
hands.
stink, or
exactly.
or even when they do tell us we stink,
We're still going to keep going.
Yeah.
Do you like? I know Mark sings in class, and you get the stuff there. Do you ever introduce music into? Like,
Not often.
yeah.
Every once in a while, we'll do. You know, I might, like, the kids will ask, or you know, I might try to play a song that they know, that whatever.
Right.
It's tough to if we're doing a lesson, then
Right.
it's tough
I know.
to you know.
and of course they like
Not
any
like
opportunity.
Jack Black in School of Rock. I don't have that you know, that
Right,
kind of creative ability. I don't think.
All right. Well, we've put plenty of time, I think, but I know you guys want to do another song, and I just kind of the selection is interesting to me. It was a song I didn't know a lot about. You guys are going to be doing "Shine a Light" by the Rolling Stones. It's from the Exile on Main Street album, which kind of was like, whoa, not being as encyclopedic, I guess, as maybe Dan. I needed to go back and kind of like it comes from 1972, right? Which is kind of interesting era for the Rolling Stones.
They put all those songs together when they were tax exiles in
Okay.
the south of France.
Right.
From England, and
Yeah.
then you have Exile on Main Street.
Right.
But a lot of the songs that they put on that were old things that never really came to fruition, or anything that they never really put out. And from what I understand, from what I've read, the Stones aren't very happy with that album, as happy as the fans are. Fans love
Yeah, it's a big
that album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was listening for a while, and I'm sorry to say, I was listening to a bunch of songs I didn't, recognize, until we got to like Tumble and Dice, I think. But
Yeah,
then
you know the hits, so the big
Right,
ones,
yeah,
but when you really listen
Yep,
through
absolutely.
it, it's a great album.
but that's you've probably sung that one.
You listen to it, you can listen to that from front to back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That one.
yeah.
I love Keith Richards' song. though.
It's awesome.
What's his? What's
Happy.
Happy? I
Yeah.
don't think I even really realized that it wasn't Mick singing or something. Like I just kind of like the
comes in.
vibe of it.
Yeah, he comes in.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But it's just kind of Keith just has this kind of cool. I don't know. Some people doesn't say he doesn't have a good voice or whatever. But I just think it's kind of
He's Keith.
he's Keith, right? He's Keith. He's an international.
But he's real. He's feeling
Icon.
it, right?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And they have a new album out. Right? It's
Yeah.
incredible.
Unbelievable, I
Great
know.
album.
Yeah.
They're coming to Foxborough in
It's
May.
like incredible.
So I think
know.
rock and roll is okay.
I don't know.
Beatles are number 1. Stones are number
Yeah.
3 on the album chart.
It seems unstoppable,
Life
but I
is
guess
good.
it's not. But
I think we still need to inject some fresh,
yeah.
you know,
New
Yeah.
iterations.
right. We
Yeah.
can't just have like
And-
senior
yeah.
citizens keeping
No,
the torch
no,
alive, you know.
no, I know.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are going to help
Yeah.
carry
Right,
the torch
That's
with,
right.
with
That's what you're doing. That's what you're
Until
doing.
we're
yeah.
senior citizens.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna say, I picked up that guitar. I saw Mr. DiPrizio.
Once you get the new band name, let us know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Promote it.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah. That'll be our project.
Staph infection, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Staph
Yeah,
infection.
that
Yeah, I
was
think
good.
there should be a Wikipedia page for
staph
staph infection. The original members.
Yeah.
Right.
Additional
Yeah.
members. Whatever happened to
movie
Line up
changes,
variations.
the
Yeah.
And you guys went from the middle school to high school. Is that like coming? Is that like going to a bigger venue or? No, I'm just kidding.
Kind of like the same, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
one school. I know Nick was kind of going back and forth for a while. He's got his scooter.
That's awesome.
He's actually got a scooter that
We don't have. I was hoping they'd add like at the airports the whatever
The
those
walkway.
little walkways there.
Yeah.
But since they don't have those, needed a quicker method.
The
of getting
Jetsons
around.
pavement.
Yeah, right.
But we, of course, Mike Dorado. We should, he's kind of like a godfather. You're probably the godfather now of the whole movement. But Mike Dorado was our former art director,
Yeah.
teacher at the middle school, and a great guitar player. And he's in what's his band now? Assisted Living.
Assisted living.
Assisted,
Yeah.
another great
Yeah.
name.
Yeah.
And they play.
The assisted
They
living
play
band, yeah.
quite a bit. You see them out there doing this. I've been able to go see them, but at the C Note, I know
Yeah,
that
they play pretty regularly.
Yeah,
up in
they've
Hull.
been out there gigging for a while.
Yeah.
But Mike's a great guy, and he's another great promoter
Yeah.
of the whole scene, man.
Nice.
So, well, hey, we could go on and pick another band, start talking about all that good stuff. But we really appreciate you guys being on,
Sure.
coming on, performing, talking rock and roll, keeping the kids going, and just great guys overall. I think you guys should jam at some point
Yeah.
too.
We'll have a jam.
Yeah, thank you for
More
having
the
us.
merrier.
It's
Yeah,
awesome.
appreciate it.
Yeah, that's great. Keep playing and keep introducing the kids
Yeah.
to the guitar and instruments, and like you said, music can open a whole world
Absolutely.
for somebody maybe not thinking about it,
Yep.
but they see it, they hear it, and hey, let me try. That can change everything.
Absolutely. There's so much possibility.
Yeah. Keep it going.
All right. Well, hey, thanks everyone for tuning in again to the gig show. We thank our guests, Nick DiPrizio and Mark Regalbuto, and they're kind enough to play us out with this tune by the Rolling Stones, "Shine a Light."
I saw you stretched out in room 1009 with a smile on your face and a tear out your eye. Whoa, I could not seem to get a line on you, my sweet honey love. Berber jewelry jangling down the street, making bloodshot eyes at every woman that you meet. I could not seem to get a high on you, my sweet honey love. May the good Lord shine the light on you, make every song your favorite tune. May the good Lord shine the light on you. Whoa, like the evening sun when you're drunk in the alley, baby, with your clothes all torn, and your late night friends will leave you in the cold gray dawn. Whoa, there seem too many flies on you, and I just can't brush them off. Angels beating on their wings in time, smiles on their faces and a gleam right in their eye. Whoa, I thought I heard one sigh for you. Come on up now, come on up now, come on up now, come on up now. May the good Lord shine the light on you, make every song you sing your favorite tune. Yeah, may the good Lord shine the light on you. Whoa, like the evening sun. Na 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 na, yeah yeah. Whoa yeah. good Lord shine the light on you. Make every song you sing your favorite tune. Yeah, may the good Lord shine the light on you. Whoa, like the evening sun. Oh.